what does Asia Pacific Connects do?
Well, as the name suggests, we connect business with Asia, particularly from Australia, but amongst the Asian countries and also Europe. So what I look at is helping find markets for companies, develop supply chain, and then create the networks that they need.
So from Australia to Asia or vice versa?
Both ways, and also into Europe. So via Asia through into Europe, like some of the works I've done is into the US, but via Asia as well.
Give me some examples of the more untypical product that's going into Asia, that belt market right now.
Well, some of the unusual product, for example, is to do with the refinement of rare earth material, so the reagents. So, as you know, China, for example, has got huge quantities of rare earth, but it needs a reagent to thin it out and to process it. But they don't have those ingredients in big supply, so they would come to a country like Australia and ask for like magnesium oxide, for example, which is mined in Queensland and produced in Queensland, which can go into the Asian market.
Has it been difficult post-COVID, or has it sort of have the floodgates opened?
Floodgates haven't quite opened. I think the geopolitics is playing into it, so it's been a bit difficult. During COVID, business was dead. Obviously, I couldn't fly. But post-COVID, there's a lot more inquiries. And what I have found is the quality of the inquiry is better because they're asking the right questions in terms of source of origin, technical specifications, whereas before it was open slather. So now it's more focused. But on the geopolitics, because of Russia, China, the US, EU, and Taiwan, it has made it a bit more problematic.
The Australian Trade and Logistics Corporation is putting on this trade show today. What are you hoping to find today?
Well, I'm trying to get more information, see what the current trends are, what the current thinking is, particularly with regard to China and with some of the supply chain issues from Australia into Asia. I host a show for Import Export TV on supply chain, which looks at the digitalization, which I'm very interested in. How do you set up digital supply chain so it can interface effectively, seamlessly with Asian and European countries. So I'm hoping to see what the trends are, what's happening, and what's been developed in the last, post-COVID.
Not so many months ago, Australia on the domestic front experienced quite a number of shortage of goods. There were freight and logistic issues, supply issues when it came to food here in Australia, particularly here in WA, where we are effectively the world's most isolated city. So what, on that broader scale, on that international scale, when we talk about supply issues, logistic issues, what do we actually mean?
Well, basically an end product will have a number of steps in the supply chain, and all you need is one bottleneck in one area. Say, for example, whether it's coal or fruit or fruit and veg, if it's fresh fruit, it needs to be processed and shipped in a certain time and within refrigerated containers. But supply chain issues out of COVID, there are no containers that are refrigerated available. There's a backlog. So your warehousing could be a problem, say, for example, in Singapore or in Hong Kong where they transit and it goes off. So you don't get it. And suddenly you've got a warehouse that is empty. You don't have your crayfish, you don't have your lettuce, you don't have your tomatoes because we have seasonal product and Australia will import seasonal product as well. So supply chain issues, particularly around fresh fruit and vegetables in Australia, also affected by the floods over east. So there's a combination. But anything out of Asia at the moment, there are bottlenecks.
All right, Andre. Anyone who's wanting to export their product into China, into Asia, why should they come and see you?
I've got the contacts and the connections. I can do it quickly.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Andre, thanks very much for talking to us today.
Thank you very much.